Welcome to another week of Starfield with normal people.
Yes, I'm so excited, Michael.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Because tonight is early access.
Yes.
So
A moment in time we have been greatly anticipating.
we've been waiting for it.
As shills for Microsoft. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that, but clearly we are Bethesda and Microsoft shills. No, not really.
No, but we are available to be shills.
Yes,
so
we will gladly sell out.
Please. Ching, ching. No, as of right now, making $0, that's okay.
So we should thank our sponsors.
We should thank,
you and me.
Here we go. You and me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Duane.
Thanks to our sponsors.
Appreciate that. But yes, very exciting. Early access tonight. We've been waiting for this, and it's my gosh, it's like I can't believe it's real.
I bought the Steam Special Edition,
Nice.
whatever it is, the $99 Steam
Ultimate.
version. Yep.
Yeah.
Just so I could play tonight.
Great.
Yes.
Great. And I am. Every day I check the tracking on the collector's
Your
edition.
scum tracking. What do we call it?
The scum checking. Yeah,
F5's coming.
Yep, F5ing that the tracking information on the Constellation edition of the game.
That and your spacesuit.
And my spacesuit.
That'll be coming.
Yes. Yep. So far I'm up to about $15,000 spent on a game that hasn't come out yet.
That you could play for free on or $1
for free.
Game Pass.
For 1 month of Game Pass for $1. Basically, we're gonna get that Constellation edition, and we are going to actually open it on our channel. Mm-hmm. So thanks for listening on the podcast. But if you want to click the link to our YouTube channel, you'll see us open that box as soon as it gets here.
Right.
As soon as it gets here, we're going to open it, we're going to check everything out, give our impressions of it, and then we're going to put that on the channel.
The watch. That's what I really want to see.
Watch.
That's what I'm most excited to, because I did not get that with my $99 Steam purchase. So I will have to live vicariously through your watch purchase.
That's right.
And just stare longingly at your wrist.
Right now it's
from here on out.
A boring old Apple Watch.
Right.
Like, but soon,
tisk.
Soon my nerd cred will be through the roof.
Soon.
Well, Duane, what are your thoughts before diving into the game?
Yeah, the build. Should we talk about our builds?
Yeah, let's talk about our builds.
Okay.
We're talking about the possibilities for your character. So apparently from early, not reviews, but impressions, people are saying that this is a great RPG for making your character however you want to and making choices. I think that they really learned their lesson from Fallout 4, and you're actually going to be able to make a very deep, customized character.
I was like, what do I go into this brand new game? And I'm thinking back to all the other RPGs that I played, and I have a tendency in my own play style to play similar to my real life. Yeah. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I'm generally a pretty good person, right? Sure.
Yeah.
I want to do chaos build. That's what I'm calling this.
Yeah.
Chaos build. Go in, do crazy pirate stuff.
Yeah.
Pillage.
Guns blazing.
Murder.
Explosives.
Oh, yeah. I've never played an explosives build because it always seemed very not just utilitarian, I guess. Is that the wrong word? I'm just thinking like
not that interesting.
Hassle, more of a hassle to have all the little explosives in. But so I want to try something different.
I got really close to doing an explosives build in Fallout 4, and then I just decided not to.
Yeah.
I think that this would be really fun because we've seen early gameplay from Bethesda where one of the players is boost packing above the enemies and dropping mines and grenades and stuff. Right. So like death from above type stuff. And I can see you kind of doing a build like that.
And someone made the point of like, hey, who's not going to put points in boost pack, right? That seems like such a fundamental skill that you're going to want to use. But then maybe it's not exactly part of the stealth build, right?
It might not be,
You're not going to be boosting into action, and dropping in on people stealthily, are you? Maybe you could. Maybe you could drop behind a box or something. And so I still think it's...
See, that would be really cool. That would be really cool if you can do a stealth boost pack hybrid, because the idea of like boosting above people and then dropping down, like you said, behind a box, we'll see. We'll see.
You'll
if
have
it's
to do like
possible.
the hover, part of the boost add-on if there is such a thing. Like keep you in the air longer, and then you could like stealthily drop
Yeah,
death from above.
that
But
would be really cool.
yeah,
If it's possible, I think that I'll be one to maybe figure this out because I am going for a stealth, maybe. Because I'll tell you what I absolutely want to do with my build.
okay.
I'm thinking speak softly and carry a big sniper rifle
Okay.
because
I like
I want a character that is very diplomatic and charming.
Lots of charisma.
Charisma, so it's going to be a charisma build going in. Hey, you
I
know
do
what?
like the charisma points.
Yeah.
That's satisfying to get what you want in the dialogue tree.
Yeah.
I love that.
I like this idea of a character that goes in and is like, hey, let's just talk about it. And if things don't go my way, I've got a silenced pistol
Yeah.
in my jacket and I'm going to clean house.
007 style.
Yeah,
Your Walther PPK.
I think it's sort of I think I'm going more of like retired hitman.
Ah, okay.
Retired
I like that.
hitman coming out of retirement. Like he has this bad past behind him where he killed people for money.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that anymore. So it's a little bit,
So he's trying to talk his way out.
Yeah.
Before it was just straight up guns blazing.
It's like-
or silent assassin.
Yeah.
Now it's, hey, let's kind
Let's
of
just
talk this.
talk about
You've
it.
got a chance now to survive this
Yeah.
encounter with me.
He wants to avoid, I think my character's going to be trying to avoid violence if it's unnecessary, but if it's necessary, he's deadly.
Right.
So that's kind of what I want to do. And so honestly, I don't know how much stealth fits into that. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with the flow. I definitely want this retired hitman character. We're going to jump in and we're going to see where the game takes us, because if it makes more sense to be stealthy, then I will. So we'll see.
I appreciate that. I think for my character, part of the chaos build is doing stupid things.
Yeah.
And then dealing with the consequences.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
that means
yeah, yeah.
low intelligence, just like the
Yeah.
dumbest guy out there or character, and not winning any dialogue battles and just basically blowing up things on my way. That sounded bad. Blowing my way out of there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Explosives.
Explosives, that's what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
explosives. But the other way could be possible.
Are there points? Are there points associated with that?
Maybe there is. It's
will
an
find
M-rated
out.
game.
It's M-rated.
So
We'll
I
find
could
out.
have just, stumbled across something.
It's a very,
That's
very
funny.
special build.
Yeah, kudos to them if there are ways to get out of a situation in that manner.
Maybe we could talk about an alternative.
No, but I think just absolutely going in there like duh and like carrying a bazooka and just
Talked about
boom.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the past, possibly doing a dumb luck character.
Yes.
A
Have tons
character
of
that's
luck.
stupid and not skilled, but extremely lucky.
Yes.
That would be
How
really
fun would that
interesting.
be? That's one thing I really loved about Fallout 3 was and actually they have this character return in Fallout 4, but less effective is the
mysterious
stranger.
Yes.
Just love to hear that little sound, dun, 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 or whatever it was. And then you're like, oh, I'm not going to win this. But then here comes a mysterious stranger, shoots the guy, and it's awesome.
One of the best perks at near the end of a luck build in Fallout 4 was that the lower there was always a chance that an enemy would shoot, their bullet would ricochet back and kill themselves.
Nice.
And apparently,
I don't remember that one.
yeah, and if you had it really leveled up, the chance of that happening increases the lower your health.
Nice.
So the more you get
the more you
in
need
the
it.
mix, in the mess,
Yeah.
their bullets you just get, it's just luck. It's just so funny.
And you're kind of every once in a while you forget you have it, and then that happens, and you're like, yes,
Yeah.
that was satisfying.
I gotta say that on a recent play of Fallout 4, I put in the explosive mess.
Okay.
Where there's a chance that their bodies will just explode. So I don't think we're going to see anything like that in Starfield.
You don't think? Oh, I do.
Well, okay, I'll say something like that, but from what I've seen, it's not as gory. Fallout has the gore.
Right.
But then again, Skyrim has beheadings. You can behead people.
I think I kind of get what you're saying, though. I think there is going to be a little less focus on disgusting gore stuff.
Yeah.
Because that is the Fallout franchise is playing into that.
Just, arms and pieces and eyeballs and stuff.
Probably there's still the ability to go down that deep, like deep within a build.
Right.
To get to unlock those options, but I don't think we'll see a lot of it right off the bat.
Yeah, well, it's going to be really interesting seeing, because I know that with these games, sometimes I have an idea of what I want my character to be, but once you get in there and start seeing those other traits that you didn't know were available.
Like, ooh, I want that.
Yeah, I end up often having sort of well-rounded characters.
I do too, because there's things in different areas that are like, that sounds really useful.
Yeah.
Like there was always the carrying trait.
Yeah.
And I apologize, I don't remember what it was called, but the ability to carry more stuff.
Yeah.
Because you see something, you want to pick it up, whether it's a weapon or if you're playing on, depending on the difficulty, it would penalize you for different things. Like ammo was would actually weigh on the survival build. Right?
It would be a tiny bit of weight to it. Yeah. Well, and I think you, if you're doing an explosive character, you're going to need carry weight.
Sir blows a lot.
Sir blows a lot. You'll need that carry weight for, a bazooka or,
all those
shotgun.
Weapons are always like super heavy.
Yeah,
like
heavy
the
weapons.
more explosive the power.
They're
the heavier
literally heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons. Remember that arcade game?
I do remember.
It's an old one.
Yeah, heavy weapons.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for you to need that carry weight, and so I can see that.
It aligns with the big dumb character.
Yeah,
so I
think
it works. Just
a big pack strapped to their backpack. Their back. And here's the thing too. I don't know if they have gone over yet what the carry situation is.
I have not seen anything to address that. So maybe everything
encumbrance and so that is interesting.
That has always been a point of contention with players is like it makes you walk slow. You're over encumbered. It's such a pain. And you're like, oh, okay, I got to open up the inventory screen. I got to find something to drop. And it's like, it kind of takes you out of that gameplay. So I could see how they might streamline that.
They might streamline it. Although, here's my guess. And if this information is already out there, please let us know.
Yeah.
But my guess is that you're going to have a carry weight for yourself. And that there's going to be a carry weight for your ship.
Absolutely.
Well,
because
and that's sort of confirmed, I guess, because they've talked about having rooms for cargo.
Right. Like stuff. The whole smugglers, pirate, cargo ship style.
They'll have here's what's cool. They're going to have the regular cargo holds, and then they're going to have, you can get upgraded cargo holds that shield stuff that you're smuggling from prying eyes.
Right.
The authorities. So that's going to be really interesting. And there's
never thought I'd be smuggling myself in here.
There's a small there's a bit of a mechanic like that in No Man's Sky. They added some piracy stuff that was pretty fun.
Nice.
So I'm like, hey, go for it.
I'm down with that. Yeah.
So I'm into that, but at the same time, like, I'm so excited for Starfield it's gonna be a world and a story with characters and apparently early buzz is that characters feel like NPCs feel very alive.
Yeah. I want to talk about that real quick because I saw a criticism on YouTube. Rare, can you believe it? A criticism on YouTube, but regarding how the characters look. And kind of like that Bethesda, not tone, but like how the eyes are and how the face is. It's a little uncanny valley.
Sure. I've seen the criticism. I don't know if I agree with it, but
I understand it. And I think it is okay because you're right. It's just part of their artistic style. Like when I see the screenshots or some of the gameplay from Starfield, I'm like, oh, this is Bethesda. Like, it just feels like
Right.
it. And it is Uncanny Valley. Like, there's a lot of like weird kind of, it's not the latest, greatest graphics technology.
Yeah.
I don't care. Is it
Sure.
fun? Is it fun to interact with them? Is it a little, strange sometimes when a character's trying to emote a certain,
Right.
emotion and their eyes are bugging out or they're looking weird or something like that. That doesn't really bother me necessarily. I'm not playing Starfield for complete realism, I guess is my point of this.
I get it. I get it. I understand the criticism. Here's where I think that they're in a tough spot is you'll see these characters criticized because they're like almost real looking. It's what you talked about, the Uncanny Valley. They're almost real looking, but it's like 80%. Whereas like a game like Call of Duty, which is a totally different game. We're talking
a lot of
apples
those
and oranges.
are cutscenes that are like pre-rendered and stuff. Yeah.
Some of them are, and then even in gameplay, they do look better, but this is an on-rails shooter. Like, it's a totally different thing. It's apples and oranges, and so here's where I think they catch flack is there are 1,000 games that the characters look way worse than Bethesda's.
You never quite hear that.
Yeah.
As a comparison, you hear about the best looking game out there.
They're being compared to Call of Duty, and it's like, and other games that have realistic looking characters, and that are at like 95%, like right.
Yeah.
And so because they almost reach that, but not quite, they get a lot of criticism. But then there are these other games that just look ridiculous, but nobody's criticizing them because I feel like they're saying, oh, well, they're not even trying. They're not even trying to look real, so we're not going to criticize them. So it's like, what do you do as a game developer? Do you stay with like really cartoony looking characters or like No Man's Sky? I love No Man's Sky, but all their characters is just, they're goofy looking aliens and they all look the same. And then, but because Starfield actually tries to have these realistic characters, but they only get to 80%, they get tons of criticism.
Yeah, and something that you could do is actually look back at the previous game and see how far it's come. Like some people are saying, oh, it doesn't even look as good as Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, Red Dead Redemption is clearly a beautiful game, but it's a different game. Yeah. And they made it to be cinematic in feeling, whereas Starfield is more about the RPG experience, more about the bigness of it.
Yeah, and the choices.
The choices.
Because Red Dead Redemption 2 it's a great simulation of that Western world, but it's just a different game. You don't have these like dialogue checks and like charisma and all that stuff. It's a different game. And again, I agree with what you're saying. Don't compare it to other games that are not even similar. Compare it to their last game. And if you compare to Fallout 4, which I already thought the characters looked good in Fallout 4.
Yeah, they're fine for what it is.
These characters look better. So who cares? It looks better than their last game. And that's all I ask for from any game studio. Is your new game better than your last game? Cool. Like, great job.
I want to talk about the barriers that were kind of a topic this week.
Yes.
And because we're talking about what we just talked about makes me say, is it fun?
Yes.
That's the bottom line to all of this. Is it fun?
Is the game fun? It's a game.
There's talk about how it's not a completely open planet. You can't walk from one end to the other. You're going to run into barriers. You actually have to take off in your ship and go to another point of access on the planet. So now, coming from No Man's Sky, do you find it fun to be able to just walk endlessly across the planet surface? Have you walked for 5 hours on a planet?
Here's what's funny.
You have. You're the very exceptional.
No, and here's what's funny is like the criticism around like, oh, it's not seamless. I can't walk all the way around the planet. Well, guess what? You can in No Man's Sky. And do you know how many times I've done it? 0.
Right.
0 times. I will like explore and everything. And guess what? You'll be able to explore in this game, and probably most people will never find the barrier. And just to be clear, for those that aren't aware, there was a controversy, not really, but like a Twitter controversy, where somebody apparently walked for 44 minutes on a planet and reached a message that said, if you want to continue exploring a new area on the planet, you need to go to your ship and reselect a new place. Here's the thing. It takes like 20 minutes to walk across the entire map of Skyrim, okay? So you're telling me that every time you choose a spot on a planet, it gives you a map that's
twice as big.
2 to 4 times as big. I don't know. 2 to 4 times as big as Skyrim. That's fine with me.
Yeah,
that's fine with me.
That's a pretty tough thing to worry about.
I think
it's pretty minute.
Any game, if you are testing the limits and the barriers and how far can I go up this mountain that clearly doesn't have anything for me, you're going to find the limits.
It feels like something we would have done back in quality assurance, literally trying to break the game.
Yeah.
So this is something we would have done, is like, let's see what happens when you walk in one direction for as long as possible. Like it's not something really that you would do in regular gameplay unless you wanted to know.
Sure. And like, I'm one of those people that maybe I would just to see what happens. And then I would just go, oh, that's what happens.
Yeah,
and
so I'll never have to see that again.
And that took 44 minutes. So I'm not going to waste my time doing that.
Honestly, now that I know what happens, I mean, I'm not, unless I'm chasing something or like something in the game prompts me to go near that barrier, that's probably the only time I would ever experience it. But it seems like that won't really be a thing.
I doubt it. I'm sure that the way they built the game is they've got the POIs, the points of interest, that are generated within that, let's say within the first 20 minutes of exploring.
Right.
And then everything outside of that, you're probably not going to find. It's just going to be barren planet. And maybe some resources.
Or just more of kind of like the same of whatever was spawned in that general tile or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. Honestly, I am so glad that these quote unquote controversies are coming out before the game even launches.
Are you?
I am, because we're going to get over it. Like, people are already saying this is a non-issue. Like, they've already like been through it. They're going to start playing the game and just be like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is fun. And can you believe that people were complaining about the title screen?
There always
which was
has to
another
be
ridiculous thing that somebody complained about.
I didn't hear about that. I don't really want to hear about that, to be honest. But it made me think of something I did want to talk about this week, which was Bethesda Studios itself. They're owned by Microsoft.
They are now.
They were acquired, 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep. This is a huge launch for Microsoft. I'm an Xbox player.
Sure.
But every time Microsoft is like, no guys, for real, this year is going to be the year of our exclusives, I'm kind of like, okay, well, I'll believe it when I see it. So now what they're saying, and I'm starting to believe in it, is that they're saying that Starfield will launch a brand new era. And it's kind of true, because the games that are coming out in terms of new exclusive games that are coming out, it does seem that over the next year, we're going to finally be getting a huge slew of games. And what's nice is if you have Game Pass, you are just going to have these games available to you on day one at no extra cost. I won't say for free. Every time you say for free, everyone's like, well, you have to pay for Game Pass. Yes, I know.
Asterisk
for free. No extra cost. Absolutely. This is a huge deal for Xbox.
And you saw that at Gamescom, like how big Xbox went with the entire Starfield marketing,
stage. And it's just, they have to, because this is so important to Xbox. This is like their win. And I don't know
Which is why they're paying us handsomely.
Yeah.
Which Ferrari did you pick out, by the way?
I wish. Yes. But here's the thing is, like, I have seen a few comments. I don't know how much this is happening, but I've seen comments saying, I am a PlayStation 5 player. Like, I'm a PlayStation person. But I'm buying a Series X or a Series S so I can play Starfield.
That's one thing I wanted to say is, like, this is going to sell a lot of hardware. This game is going to sell hardware. Also on PC. I'm considering, I just bought a new PC 2 years ago. I mean, that's a long time in PC land, actually, but
And you're
I still
already
wanna,
thinking of upgrading,
I
right?
am, and it's mainly due to this game. It takes up a lot of hard drive space, along with Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
which you
just jumped into,
I
right?
did, which is a huge mistake because it's an awesome game, and I don't want it to be competing for time with Starfield. But
As an Xbox player, I'm so lucky. People aren't going to like this. I'm so lucky that Baldur's Gate 3 got delayed on Xbox because we'll get it probably, they're saying now, by the end of the year.
it's still buggy. I mean, in the opening thing, which I played in the beta, it was super buggy. They totally changed it up from the last time I played. I was surprised. Like it was not totally, but it was different.
Yeah.
And my character did like the
the T-pose.
Like well, they didn't do the T-pose. They did this.
It's like
and they were like
yeah,
and through the whole final like sequence of the animation. So my character was like blocking the whole like just as this. So I was like, yeah, there's still a lot of bugs.
Ruins the immersion a little bit when that happens. As we said at the beginning, tonight is launch night for early access. And I've seen that there are quite a few players that are not going to be playing early access. So, with all of our respect to those people, we'll see you in the Starfield on the 6th. But for those of us that are doing early access, Duane, what are your plans tonight? Do you got big plans?
Oh, yeah. I think one thing is how long I'm going to spend in character creation. Like, I'll probably, I don't know, do we have to get through the first little story section first, and then you get into character creation, right? That's typically how it goes.
Often will let you create your character, then do like an intro, and then they'll give you another opportunity to make any changes if you want. Yeah. Also, they are stressing that there will be ways to change aspects of your character later throughout the game.
Yeah.
So they don't want people to get paralyzed with choice at the beginning.
Good.
That being said, I agree. I will probably spend quite a bit of time in the character creator, getting it right.
Even Baldur's Gate, I was playing the single player, and then I was like, I asked a couple of my friends, I said, let's start a multiplayer. That seems like a lot of fun. It's D&D basically. And I spent a ton of time on my single player character, and for my multiplayer character,
Are they different?
Yeah, I rolled a whole new character for it, and I just tried to quickly go through it. But you could spend a lot of time fine tuning, face tattoos and all that stuff, eye color and hair color and body style, and it goes on and on. So there's definitely plenty of time to be spent in a screen that you will probably rarely ever see your character, because it's like, I mean, I guess
as soon as you put on a helmet and armor, it's like I don't even know what my character looks like anymore.
What does it matter?
I'm gonna be in a spacesuit in Starfield, and still though, here's what I like though. In Starfield, they have noticed in the character armor screen or equipment screen, there is an option for having it automatically remove your spacesuit when you're in like a non-space environment, like when you're
makes sense.
In Aquila City or New Atlantis.
You don't want to walk into the bar in a big bulky spacesuit. That's just rude.
No.
All the other
And then how do you drink your scotch?
Right. I have a drinking problem.
So that is what is interesting. Is I like that you'll be able to customize your sort of civilian look. And then your armored up look.
That's a nice feature if it auto swaps. You just walk in and you're in your awesome civilian outfit.
I would even want that for, I think that would be really cool eventually in Elder Scrolls to be like, hey, if I'm visiting the king and,
There's
or the
probably
Jarl.
already a mod for it.
Yeah, probably.
You Xbox plebeian.
Although Xbox does have the mods now, but just not all of them. Just the ones that are appropriate.
Not the ones we all download first.
So Starfield's going to have that option to kind of remove the spacesuit. I think that's cool. So hey, maybe we will see a lot of our own face.
Yeah, so I mean, spend some time in the character creation, because you probably will be seeing it.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you tonight's a very special night. I'm going to
What do you have planned?
Gonna light a few candles and put on some jazz music and, maybe sacrifice a goat.
Oh, what was I going to say? The sacrifice the goat comment got me. That just threw me for a whole loop.
Were you going to say put on my robe and wizard hat?
Spacesuit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Put on the spacesuit. Yeah. My wife is so, she's a Bethesda player. So she plays the Bethesda games, mostly Elder Scrolls, but now Starfield. She's very excited about it.
Yeah.
She's
Do you have 2 of these?
We do.
Nice.
He's
Winners.
gesturing towards the Starfield controller that we've got on the desk,
Yes.
as well as the headset.
It is pretty.
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
We basically, my wife and I got his and hers Starfield everything for the most part. So
Bed sheets?
Bethesda, where are the bed sheets?
Curtains.
The towels.
The breakfast cereal.
There is we each got a Starfield controller. We each got a Starfield headset. I already unboxed mine.
Check out
for
that
our channel.
unboxing video. Yeah.
Yep, you can go. I'll put a link in the show notes of the podcast. You can go see our unboxing video for that. And we are, like I said, we're going to do an unboxing for the watch. So, yep, my wife got hers as well. We're both going to be playing. We just
in separate rooms.
In separate, yeah.
I mean, it's going to be too much if you were...
the same floor, so she'll be in the living room and I'll be in sort of the den area.
So when you get up to, go raid the refrigerator for a snack, you're going to peek in and see, oh, you're at this section?
Oh, well.
What is this? Or
it is going to be freaking insane with this game, because in Skyrim, you might be like, oh, you're in that dungeon. Oh, you're there.
You recognize it's because it's somewhat small.
Yeah.
Here, you're never going to really know.
1,000 planets in the game. As soon as either one of us goes off the rails and is just doing our own thing and just exploring, I feel like I'll walk past the TV where she's playing and just be like, what is that? What is like...
How'd you get there?
Yeah.
Tell me. I want to
go there.
This.
It is going to be really interesting. So yeah, as we each follow the story, sure, it's going to be like, oh, you're ahead of me, or I'm ahead of you. And then once you're off of the story and doing your own thing, it's going to be wild.
Yeah. Well, it'd be great because you have twice the discovery and you'll be able to cue each other in on interesting things that you both find. And, oh, did you know about this? Or
Yeah. And we both try to avoid spoilers, so we probably will have a period of time where we don't really talk about it.
Dinner is awkward silence.
It's going to be just quiet.
Eating sounds.
It's just going to be like talk about, well, so how was work today?
Right.
No Starfield talk. It was all right. Let's real quick talk about the big news about New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Now, New Game Plus might not be a big deal, might not sound like a big deal if you come from other RPGs that have it, but in the world of Bethesda, this is a first.
It is.
They've never done New Game Plus before. So New Game Plus is when you are able to start the game over, but maintaining your level and your gear. Usually it's your gear and your level and that kind of thing.
Which is really cool because it takes some of the slog out of the game. Like you've already done some of these other challenges to get whatever it is that can carry through on New Game Plus. So you start that new game and you have X, right? Whatever it is.
The thing is though, like the heads of ZeniMax and Bethesda are saying, oh, it's New Game Plus, but there's a twist. And I do have an idea. I have a theory.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing.
I have no idea where you're going with this.
I am not saying anything that hasn't been told to us by the people.
You're just theorizing.
They're talking about having this twist. And then I started thinking also about an interview where they asked Todd just generally about space stuff in the game. And they asked him, are we going to see black holes in the game? He was dodgy. He did not want to give an answer. Not like he was being super secretive, but he was just like, oh, we're exploring all kinds of space stuff. It was kind of
he
that
was
kind of
dodgy,
answer.
but he was looking fantastic in that leather jacket and matching shoes. I mean, let's be honest, what a snazzy dresser.
I want to get that jacket.
I do too. Yeah. But black holes, or is it black holes or is it portals?
Well, so here's the
Or
thing.
they did the same thing?
In one of the very first trailers, or first that we got this year, they already show this weird portal that you're sort of floating around, the character's floating around.
Yeah.
So that's not even, it's not a spoiler, it's in the media. We've seen this strange portal. So
One's orange and one's blue.
I started thinking to myself, man, are there gonna be time shenanigans?
Oh.
And
okay.
then when they said that there's gonna be New Game Plus and that there's a twist, I went, oh man.
Back to the Future.
Are we going to have a situation, this is what I'm guessing, are we gonna have a situation where at the end of the main story, we're gonna be given an option to reset, go back to the beginning of our story and make different choices, but retain your level, retain your gear.
Yeah.
That is interesting to me.
That would be awesome, by the way. Like, if you just thought that up or you kind of pieced together that theory, I mean, that would be really fun. I would love to do that. So if that is in fact what happens, cool.
We'll see. And
Yeah.
I'm also like, I'm taking into account another thing that I believe Pete Hines of Bethesda said. He said recently, the game doesn't really even start until you finish the main quest.
Ah, that plays right into the hands of your theory.
This theory. So
Plus.
we'll see.
I
we'll
will
see
never
if
make
that's...
it that far, by the way. I mean,
you're just going to get distracted by a planet or a side quest. Or, which
if you can't do 6 hours at a time, what ends up happening is you jump around a lot.
Yeah.
You don't end up completing the main storylines. You're just like, oh, this is fun, whatever I'm doing right now. And then you're like, oh, I got to log off.
Let me say,
it's 2 a.m.
If we've got any listeners that are new to Bethesda games, if this is going to be your first Bethesda game, which I'm seeing that a lot of people are saying.
For sure.
That.
I mean, think about it. Like, if you're getting into RPGs for the first time, like RPGs didn't necessarily appeal to you, or maybe you didn't play M-rated titles.
Yeah, you just like action games.
So this is going to be an entirely new, genre for you.
My advice to you is let yourself get distracted. Bethesda games are all about following that shiny thing that just popped up.
Yeah, they've always done that really well too, is disguise an RPG as an action shooter. Like when I first played, maybe it was just Fallout 3, I didn't really know it was as much of an RPG as it ended up being. To me, it felt more like a first-person shooter, which was the genre that I was most comfortable with coming into that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think that's what initially brought me into RPGs. So,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people are going to be experiencing their first Bethesda game with Starfield. And just allow yourself to follow new threads, because that main story will be there. It's going to be there waiting for you. Don't worry about it. Although what's interesting is there might be a timed element to some missions. So Pete Hines said that one of his favorite experiences playing the game, Starfield, was that some people asked him to take them across the galaxy. So it's kind of like a taxi mission, right? Like, you're going that way. Can we go with you and then we'll pay you? He said that
escort missions. No.
Well, he let them board his ship. And the ship is so big that he forgot that they were there until like way later. It was like he was walking around his ship. He had been doing other missions because he followed other threads, the way I'm saying.
It's like, what is this NPC doing? And cargo hold number 322.
Yeah, so he got to a room and he saw them. And of course, people brought up, there's a scene in one of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies where Star-Lord says, I'm going to be honest, I forgot you were here. So we're going to be able to have our own experiences like that, where people are on your ship and you're like, oh, that's right, I'm so sorry.
There are so many distractions, so I can easily see that happening. Like, I mean, that is a positive and a negative of these style of RPGs, is that you constantly come across quests and things to do. So it takes some discipline to be able to say, no, I'm going to stick to this particular quest line and finish it
before I get distracted.
Oh, Duane, I found another settlement that needs your help.
Yeah.
So can I quickly tell you a tragic story?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I love tragic stories.
On the approach, Starfield's coming. I started a new character in Fallout 4 because I wasn't going to try and clean up all the achievements because there's no time, but there were a few story achievements that I thought, okay, that's for a mission. Let me get to that mission. Let me do that. There's a mission called the Nuclear Option, and I looked it up. They said, well, keep doing stuff for Preston. I was doing that, and I decided, you know what? Let me play on the Xbox in the living room because we have the one in the den and the one in the living room. And
the one in the bathroom.
And the one in the bathroom. Yeah.
There's quite a few there.
And I had an issue where my Xbox in the living room just did not want to download that save. And it was a couple days of me trying to get it to work. And I ended up saving over that save.
Oh.
So I had spent a good amount of time on this new character, and
that is tragic.
I lost it, and I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I'll come back.
You'll never know Preston's super awesome ending.
Yeah. So
it just didn't work. So it's not available on the other Xbox.
No, so it saved over. It created a new save, and I was like, well, I'll just go back to the other Xbox, and it was gone.
Oh man, that's rough.
So it was sad, but here's the thing.
Knowing you're gonna get it.
I'll get back.
I'll
get back on that horse. Not before Starfield because Starfield comes tonight, but Xbox is going to. They've already announced. Like last year, they announced that they're going to do a special Series X upgrade, like an anniversary upgrade for Fallout 4. So whatever, I'll play it then. Duane, do you like merch?
I love merch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do too, depending on the game, but if I really get into a game, like I like to have stuff.
I still use my World of Warcraft mouse pad.
Oh, nice.
From the collector's edition.
I have a mouse pad that is, my wife and family gave it to me. It's a enchanting table mouse pad from Skyrim. So yesterday, they just announced that Funko Pop is making a little Vasco Funko.
Cool.
And
let's get one.
We're going to get one.
Okay.
It doesn't even come out till February.
Wow.
They're killing me.
February. Wait, February?
February.
Next year?
Next year.
Okay.
2024. They're killing me with this, but whatever. We're going to get it. So we'll get one and we'll unbox it on our channel. Not much to, it's just, we'll unbox it and there it is. Because you just put them on the shelf.
Most people leave them in the box. Or
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. I don't, and I'll tell you why. I'm not looking to resell stuff later.
Your Beanie Babies collection has really taught you that.
Yeah. Still got those
6,000
Beanie Babies, and they're all like perfectly
AKA
preserved.
Your son's college fund.
They've all got the little tags on them. Yeah, I made sure.
God.
Yeah, I don't get stuff to try and resell later. So you know what? We're gonna get it, take it out of the box, put it on a shelf. Looks great.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
enjoy it for what it is.
Dust it from time to time.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, like I'm not the hugest fan of like all Funko Pops. I don't like to have a ton of Funko Pops.
I've been given a few as kind of presents, and I think I had some Star Wars, Luke, and some other things.
Yeah.
But I gave them away.
I'll say this though, this Vasco Funko Pop looks awesome.
Vasco's just cool.
He's just cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw an interesting comment. Somebody said, they were talking about like 2001 Space Odyssey, and they said, how will you guys feel if Vasco turns out to like be evil and turn on you?
Oh, another spoiler.
I was like,
well, 5,000.
Here's the thing.
Open the pod bay doors.
Yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. I don't think that's going to happen because they are really leaning into the merch on this guy. And if like he's
a buddy.
Yeah,
he's not going to turn against you.
My
there
wife
could be other evil.
Someone
robots.
Yeah, there will be evil robots. But my wife pre-ordered the really nice like 1 foot tall statue of Vasco.
Oh, cool.
We're gonna get that in October.
Nice.
Another unboxing probably. But I was just like, they better not. He better not be evil. I think he's going to be a homie. I think Vasco's
he'll be a friend.
Homie for life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that tattoo.
4. The number
Jasco.
4, LYFE.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, I want to just say thank you so much. Like, we've had just a great reception of like listeners, like listening to the podcast.
It's been really fun.
So awesome. Thank you all for listening. And if you are just listening on Apple or Spotify or Google, you can also click the link and watch the video.
Yeah.
And if you're watching the video and you want to listen in your car or podcast apps will save your spot. That's what's nice.
Yes.
So links are below. The nice thing about YouTube, though, is we get some comments.
We do indeed. Yeah, we have a good one from, I might destroy this name, but Eco Anostalgia?
Yeah, EQO or Eco Anostalgia.
Yeah, they said they pre-ordered it, which they never do. So we're actually making people spend money. They're like you. They're going out and spending ungodly amounts of money on Starfield.
They don't just never pre-order. They say they effing.
Right.
F
Little
apostrophe
there.
ING never pre-order, but they're sold. And yeah. And it's funny. They say, time will tell if I'm a sucker again. I'll tell you this. I pre-ordered Anthem. And
what's Anthem?
Anthem was a disaster.
Okay. There's been a few misses in your pre-order.
There's been a few misses.
Right? Yeah.
I don't
believe I've ever No, I did buy Baldur's Gate and played the beta. So that's kind of a pre-order, right?
So you were in the early access beta.
Access. Yeah. I paid the full price back before the game was fine.
Before it was actually released.
Yeah, so.
But I heard great things, and then you had a fun experience.
Yeah.
Jumping into that.
Yeah.
And then, we had another great comment. So Nate Man on our channel wrote that they weren't interested in the game at first, but the premium edition apparently, like not just the regular game, but the premium edition of the game came free with a graphics card that he got.
It should. Have you seen the prices of graphics cards? I mean, you could drop $2,000 on a high-end graphics card. So hey, give me the premium edition with that.
When I was really young and naive, I remember hearing someone say, oh, I got that, like it was a major game release. And they said, oh, I got it free when I bought a graphics card. And I didn't know anything about PC gaming. And I was like, whoa, what? They gave you that game for free? And then you find out how much graphics cards are.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, wow, just one game?
Right.
They should be giving you more.
They used to do pack-ins where you get like one AAA title and one kind of lesser game,
indie.
Little side game or something. But didn't they have a tie-in with AMD?
They have a tie-in with AMD, and they're actually saying that AMD is trying to launch FS3, which is their it's their upscaling tech,
which is a good technology because essentially what it does is increases the resolution, making the picture sharper, making it appear to be a higher res image.
Yep.
Even though
and what that does for you as a PC gamer. It tricks your monitor, tricks your eyes. What that does for you is it allows the game to run smoother because the game is actually running at a lesser resolution
and it's upscaling it and cheating it, without tasking all your processor and.
So basically, think of it as like, oh, I'm playing this game and it's only performing at 1080p, but FS3
looks like it's
will
4K.
Bump it to 4K.
Yeah. I've been an NVIDIA, graphics card buyer. I do own, actually, in my laptop, I have an AMD chip. But so I think it's good to have the competition of these two big graphics cards makers. And if Starfield has a tie-in with, AMD, it'll still run great on NVIDIA.
You know what's kind of fun? What's kind of fun is I have a sort of just a mid-range gaming laptop because I'm not really a PC gamer. So I'm going to be playing Starfield on Xbox. But because of Xbox Play Anywhere, I'll be able to test the game out on my mid-range
and
computer.
Watch it crash.
Probably. No, it probably will because I haven't even glanced at the minimum requirements. So we'll see. If it does meet the absolute minimum requirements, then I will test it out and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I looked at the minimum and I looked at the recommended, and I think my 2-year-old PC met the recommended. So
That's
they
awesome.
weren't like, they weren't just crazy requirements to my knowledge.
Not
So,
like there's a game that just came out called Immortals of Avium, which apparently it's sort of like the Crisis game when it
right.
first came out a
It's
long
always
time
pushing
ago.
the envelope on hardware.
It's pushing the envelope, and that's actually been a huge detriment to its sales because a lot of people just don't have hardware that can play it. And
They have the
so-
optional 8-bit mode, which looks terrible.
do they?
It's all blocks.
That'd be
the Atari
amazing.
mode.
That'd be amazing.
It's like 2 blocks on the screen.
Well, once again, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate you guys being here, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on your podcast app. We're just having a lot of fun talking about Starfield.
Yeah.
And hit us up if you want to leave a comment and maybe get a shout out on the next episode. Let us know what your build is going to be. That's what's very exciting. All the different builds that you can do. I would love to know what you are going to do. So
Absolutely.
let us know. Go to our YouTube and leave a comment, and we will shout you out on the next episode. Otherwise, you know what we're going to be talking about next week?
Actually playing the game. Our first impressions. I'm excited
Yes.
for that. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
So we will see you next time.
See ya.